Well, it was an electric atmosphere out there today. It was so much fun to be at home in Chestnut Hill with the bandana game and everything that it represents. Our team was so proud and honored that we could represent the Crowther family here tonight. It means a lot to our team, our players, and very, very inspired game. I thought our kids came out and played really physical, really hard, really tough. Had a demeanor and an attitude about them. It was a very, very physical game. We had a mindset as a program, as a team, in all three phases that we were going to attack with everything we had and empty the chamber. I thought you saw that in the first half. On offense, you know, we were able in the first half to run several trick plays, have almost 50 plays run and 300 yards of offense. That's the #1 defense in America. They're rated the #1 defense in America. We had 416 yards, over 200 rushing, 200 in passing. I thought A.J. Dillon came out and played really courageously. He's not even at full speed, and he rushed for over 150 yards and had over 30 carries. I thought Anthony Brown played exceptionally well. I thought our defense played with tremendous physicality and explosion, and I thought our special teams did a great job. Grant Carlson, took the #1 punt returner, and we held him to minus yards in that game. So I was proud of that. You know, we beat a good football team at home. That's a good football team. They got some very, very talented players in that football team. We're 6-2. We're bowl eligible right now for the 5th time in 6 years. And the best part about it was nothing was mentioned down in the locker room about it. We didn't go down there and have any say, hey, you know, I'm mentioning it right now. But as a team, we didn't mention it. I think that's significant to where we are right now. And just had a bunch of guys that want to get on to Blacksburg. They want to celebrate this win, but they're excited to get down there, and we know the challenges that's going to present. Another very, very good football team. So I'm proud of our football team. I'm proud of the fight and the character and the battle that they have. I'm proud of the way they represent this university as Boston College men. And really, really excited for our team, for another opportunity to get on the field next week and continue to grow and develop. This is a hungry football team right now, and that's what I like about it most. They're hungry. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
How you doing? It seemed like in the first half especially, you were able to keep them off balance with your offenses. How important is that with such an aggressive defense like they?
Yeah, I mean, they loaded the box, and we knew that we were going to have a lot of balance in our run, our throws, and then also have some trick plays to create explosives. That's not the kind of defense that, you know, you're going to be able to just go down the field without creating explosives. So we went with great tempo in the first half of that game. We were going fast, and we weren't really allowing them to get their cleats screwed into the ground, and that was our game plan, and we were able to execute that. So that went very, very well. But yes, that's a talented defense. Yes, they were loading the box. There was about 8 to 9 guys around the line of scrimmage, pretty close to the line, within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage in every snap. So we needed to do the things that we did to create those opportunities.
Just how much did you expect to get out of AJ coming in, and then he rips off the first one? That's a big one. And then how much did you have to manage him throughout the game?
Well, you know, Julian, I really didn't know what to expect. I knew that he looked good in practice on air, but I didn't know what would happen when he got tackled. And so I didn't know if we're going to get 3 reps out of him, 15 reps out of him. I didn't imagine that we would have 30 carries out of him, to be totally frank with you. We managed him through the game. There's a couple, issues during the game. Couple, sore and dinged up. Couple fatigue issues because he hasn't really practiced, to that level in 4 weeks. And it's, no matter what we try to do conditioning-wise, nothing simulates what happens in the game, especially for him, because he's such a physical runner that it's hard to duplicate the exertion for him on every play. So he far exceeded our expectations today, and certainly gave a great boost and a catalyst to our team.
When did you install the Steve Addazio, and how confident were you that they were going to kind of catch that defense off?
So we have a Rolodex of, let's call them trick plays, that we've been working on since the beginning of the year. And we just kind of keep a Rolodex of them going, so that, it's not just something all of a sudden we're going to go to the week of a game. So like a lot of times on Sundays, we'll come out Sunday and we'll go through our Rolodex of different plays, and we'll have to add to that now. And but we were very, very confident in a series of those trick plays. Felt great about them. In fact, we left one in the drawer, but we'll save it. And it's just something that we work on each week, because those are the kind of things where, to me, that if you don't start the process early with those, you never get the execution, and the kids aren't confident with everything off of them. So,
Steve, I guess going off that question, how confident personally are you with Jeff Smith throwing the ball? It seems like every time you have these plays, he always hits the throw on these trick plays.
Well, Jeff came here as a quarterback, as you guys know, and he was our starting quarterback at one point in time. So, and has ability throwing the football. So, we feel very good about it. And Jeff's a veteran, a senior with great decision-making skills. I mean, he's not just going to force the ball in there. He knows enough that he might have to pull the ball down and run with it. So I think that's the part that I have the confidence with, and I know the ball's in the hands of a guy that can make a good decision if the play's not there.
Steve, granted there's a long way to go, but how important was tonight just for the building of the program this year with the whole red bandana game, national TV, everything that went with it?
Well, listen, every week seems like it's monumental, to be honest with you, okay? The bandana game is a special game for us. We usually play a marquee opponent, and it's just a special atmosphere and a special game. So, how big is this game? Well, we're at home playing a great opponent. We win the bandana game. We're able to get our 6th win of the year. And I think more importantly, to me, is our team is playing with tremendous confidence right now and playing at a high level physically. So I think all those things together are really, really positive. But every game in college football today, to me, it's not like some other sports where you play so many. There's just, every one is precious, like a diamond in your hand you got to hold on for dear life. That's the way it is in college football right now. So it's big, but they're all so big. And here we go now. We get ready to go down to Virginia Tech, and that's going to be another big, big game, And for different reasons, each one's going to have significance. But there's a special place for the bandana game in our heart, right? And it's just, I had the great pleasure down in the locker room to hand the ball to Allison and Jeff Crowther. And that's a really emotional deal, to watch these two parents who lost their son take tremendous joy in being a part of this BC community. And it's a really moving deal. And it's moving to our team, which is moving to me on top of it all. To watch these scholarship players down here embrace those moments. I mean, our kids embrace it. That's what's special about being at BC. When you're around a bunch of BC men like that, they can appreciate these special moments. And so, of course, this game has a little more significance from that standpoint.
I feel you kind of won the game with 2 picks returned to the end zone and then the turnover on downs inside the 3. I mean, was that what kind of did it?
Those are big plays. Those are huge plays. It's hard for me to say what did it. I think what did it, honestly, Rich, was a collective effort of all 3 phases of our football team with a relentless will. And that's how I felt on the sideline. Like just this unbelievable surge from our team, Like I never felt like that game was in jeopardy because our kids were going to find a way to win that game. So those were all big plays along the way. I wouldn't argue with you. I don't know. I think all 3 phases battled and kicked in and did some special things in that game. And I think it was a really good team win for us against a really good team. And that's a talented football team, Miami. And Mark Richt is doing really great things with that football team. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So we're just really feel grateful that we had an opportunity to go out here tonight, play the way we did, and be able to go earn that victory.
Coach, between the play calling on offense, and not just the trick plays, but you had a lot of success off misdirection, for example, the overall execution of the game plan and the opponent. Do you feel like this was the best game the offense has played this season?
That's a good question. Possibly yes. And possibly yes, if you put it all in a bag and shake it up, probably. I'd have to go watch the film to tell you that specifically. But that's the #1 defense in America right now. So probably I'd say yes.
I know you said you guys didn't talk about it after the game or it didn't really come up, but, bowl eligible 5 out of 6. First time since like 2009. You've had 6 wins before November. First time you started 6-2 since 2007. I mean, does this, like at this point in the season, kind of where are you guys at, knowing what else is out there for you to go get, if you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's still more ahead.
Julian, I think being candid with you you know, the Purdue game brought to light that, you know, you better make sure that every week you're focused on one thing, the main thing. And I think right now, and this isn't coach speak, I'm completely convinced right now that our guys have got one focus, one mindset right now, and that's getting ready to go down to Virginia Tech, and are really locked into that. And yes, the things you said are accurate and they're true. And there's a lot of firsts this year. Their firsts all spread out all over the place. I had a sheet of them, and I was wow. So there's a lot of good things that are going on. But at the end of the day, we got to go get win number 7, and that's really our focus. To go down to Blacksburg in one of the toughest environments in college football to win a football game, and as we well know, and to go down there and try to get our 7th win down there and beat them will be a monumental task. So I think what we want to try to do is grow from this game and get to work on the things that we know that we need to improve on from this game. I need to assess the health of our football team right now. I'm not real sure about all that. We had some guys go down tonight. I don't know seriously or not. I can't even comment on it. I got to take a look at that. And we got to get to work and get ready, because we have an opportunity to continue to do some more firsts here right now. And all that goes through Blacksburg right now, and finding a way to scratch and claw and get a 7th win. And I know it's not going to be easy. So that's where our focus is right now. And I think that I know that's where our team's focus is, because that's what they talked about down in that locker room, which is a good thing. Yeah.
Let's take one last question on the left.
Coach, you've been talking a lot about Miami's defense, but can you tell us about your defense tonight? 14 points, 2 turnovers. They really looked dominant throughout the entire game. Can you talk to us about them?
Yeah, I thought that the coaches did a great job putting a plan together for them. I thought our kids played really hard. You saw Zach Allen and Wyatt Ray putting unbelievable pressure on the quarterback. I thought Connor Strahan was all over the field. I thought we played well and competed for balls in the back end, obviously with the picks that we had. But there were a lot of big plays in the back end that occurred. I mean, there were some big receivers. I mean, they went up and they made a big play for one of the touchdown that got reviewed down there. That was an unbelievable play that receiver made. And those are big-time athletes. And our guys went up and competed for those balls. And so I thought our defense played really, really well tonight, and with confidence and with an edge to them. And so, yeah, that was good to see. That was really good to see. So.